Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liverpool are back, people. We are back. Okay, maybe not. Still problems in that team, but a flawless second half performance. 5-1 win against Frankfurt. It could have been more. Really impressed by them. This was the performance we've been waiting for all season long. Florian Wirtz, brilliant. Curtis Jones was brilliant. Szoboszlai was brilliant. That midfield. Would you play the same midfield against Brentford on Saturday? Going to get the team up. We're going to go through it. A couple of players I want to talk about. But the midfield last night was brilliant. They controlled the game, and that is what Liverpool have lacked. But we went 1-0 down again. I mean, it's a real problem for Liverpool. You know, we're really struggling with counter-attacks. But the credit to the players, because when they went 1-0 down, they could have dropped their heads. They could have said, here we go again. They didn't. They responded. They kept playing. And they eventually got the goals. Won the game easily. But yeah, it was the best performance of the season by a mile. So hopefully we keep it going. Because Brentford is going to be tough, people. You know, we've struggled all season with set pieces. That's Brentford's strength. They have a set piece coach as their manager. Long throws, free kicks, corners. We've struggled with them all. We have to be switched on Saturday. Let's get this team up. Now, you know I'm not a big fan of Marmadashvili. He didn't have anything to do. He really didn't. So, fair play to him. The second half was like the Burnley game. Yeah, he didn't have anything to do. The goal wasn't his fault. So, fair play. Frimpong gets himself injured. Look, Conor Bradley comes in. Okay, I've no problem with Conor Bradley at all. He played well. We know how good he can be. He hasn't played well this season, but I've no problem with him at right back. I really don't. Kanate and Van Dijk, they get the goals. Once they scored, game over. Defensively solid, yeah. Look, as I said, disappointing that we went 1-0 down, but they responded really well. Andy Robertson. This is an interesting one. Andy Robertson. For me, he has to start now. He has to start. Look, Kirkes came in. We all had high hopes for him. He's struggling. He is struggling. And everybody said, Andy Robertson now, he's not going to play much football. But Andy Robertson now is giving the manager something to think about. Because I thought he was excellent last night. He gets himself an assist. What a pass that was. Now, the midfield, people. Now, Gakpo played his normal game, but Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz, I thought they were excellent. Every one of them. I mean, they really controlled the game. Szoboszlai never stopped running. Curtis Jones controlled the whole thing. I think he has to play Saturday, and Florian Wirtz will. I think he will play Saturday, but this was the game that he needed. You know, I remember saying a couple of months ago that what he needed to show his best was Liverpool to really control a game, to be under no pressure, to really kind of go out and enjoy themselves, create chances, score goals, and that's exactly what we got last night, and we saw the best when we gets 2 assists. Up front, Ekitike and Isak. Now, Isak came off injured, of course. Hopefully it's not serious. He probably won't play Saturday. But it's getting to the stage now where, you know, people are asking, how do you get Ekitike and Isak into the same team? It's getting to the stage now where the manager has to be asking, okay, how do I get Isak into the team? Because Ekitike has to be guaranteed to start. That's how good he is. He reminds me of Fernando Torres. I think he has potential to be world class. I mean, last night, the goal, you know, you had a lot of time to think about it. And no drama, no problem. His first touch was excellent. His second touch was even better. And then he scores. I thought he was brilliant. Look, I feel sorry for Isak, I do, because we all know the quality he has. But he's just kind of struggling at the moment. But Ekitike is not. He has to play. So what would you do with the midfield, though? Would you play them on Saturday? Because the midfield, let's go back to, right, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai. That's the hardest working midfield in showbiz. I've said it many times. The midfield Arne Slot played last night is a ball-playing midfield. Now, you could argue that that's what Liverpool have been missing. But do you go to Brentford and play that? I think he should. Why not? Curtis Jones, Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai. Give it a go. Because the performances up to this have not been great. So, what have you got to lose? You know, we've lost 4 games in a row. And last night was the first time that we controlled the game pretty much from start to finish. Yes, we went 1-0 down, but that was one moment in the game. After that, it was flawless. And it was down to Curtis Jones and it was down to Florian Wirtz. And that was the first time that we really sustained attacks and controlled possession. Now, I know Frankfurt are not great, but that's what we need to do against Brentford. That's what we need to do going forward. So for me, that has to be the midfield. And the likes of Gravenberch, the likes of McAllister, they have to work hard to get back into this team now. I think if Arne Slot was to change it back, say put Curtis Jones on the bench on Saturday, I think it'd be harsh on him. I think he has to start. I really do. I think he deserves to start. Let's just get the subs up here. Conor Bradley, as I say, no problem. Chiesa again. The man could have scored 2 goals. Really good performance. You know, he's given the manager something to think about again. Fair play to him. Joe Gomez came on late on. You know, second half Frankfurt didn't look like scoring at all. So Joe Gomez didn't have much to do. Alexis McAllister as well, you know, didn't do much because the game was over. Mo Salah, people, what do you think? Look, he's getting a lot of criticism online. I've no problem with constructive criticism, but some of the criticism he's getting is way over the top. The man is an absolute legend. The consistency that he has shown over the last 7-8 years is because when he gets himself into positions like he did last night, he should have passed the ball to Florian Wirtz. There's no doubt about that. But when he gets himself into those positions, he backs himself. 9 times out of 10 he scores. He's struggling this season. And you can see he's desperate for a goal. So he should have passed the ball against Chelsea. There was a couple of chances. He should have passed the ball against Man United. And he should have passed the ball last night. So unfortunately, he's just not making the right decision. But he's desperate to score a goal. But there's been many, many times for Mo Salah in his Liverpool career where he's got himself into those positions. And you might be even thinking, right, pass the ball. He shoots and it's in the top corner. And you're like, wow, what a goal. The man is a legend. He's a genius. You know, so it's just not happening for him this season. But I think the manager was right to take him out of the team because he's not playing well. He's definitely still affected by what happened in the summer. So I think Arne Slot was right to take him out of the team. I don't think he will drop him on Saturday. I think he'll play against Brentford. He's played in every single league game. He dropped him against Galatasaray in the Champions League game, the last away game. So I didn't think it was that big of a story. Going into the game, everybody was talking about, oh my God, Mo Salah's been dropped. I didn't think it was that big of a story because, as I say, he dropped him against Galatasaray. But I don't see him dropping him against Brentford. But, yeah, look, hopefully he can turn it around because when Mo Salah plays well, he's the best in the league. He really is. You know, he only needs one chance and he scores. It's just not happening for him. But I think some of the criticism is way over the top. I really do. But, yeah, look, I mean, last night it was a great performance. Hopefully we can carry it into the weekend. But I do think Brentford is going to be a tougher test than Frankfurt were because Brentford are a good side. Set pieces are their strength and set pieces are our weakness. But anyway, it was a great performance in the Champions League. 5-1 win. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. And let me know what you think.